What is up, you guys? It is episode 37 of the Sci-Fly Zone. Today's destination is going to be taking us back to Major League Baseball, specifically in the National League, as we're going to be discussing the current playoff race that is happening in there because, holy crap, things have been switching around. And that seems to be the case like for everything this month. I mean, really quick, just to dive into the American League before we go into our deep dive on the National League. I mean, the Mariners and the Astros have been having a crazy back and forth lately.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's been super exciting to see. The Mariners were even ahead of the Astros for like a game, maybe two games there in first place.
Yep.
The Astros did manage to win their last couple games, so they're back in first place by only half a game though.
Yeah.
So, there's still a little bit of time. So we'll see what happens with the AL West.
Yeah. But the Mariners are 9-1 in their last 10. So they are a very hot team. And what's crazy is they're not even the only team in playoff contention that's 9-1 in their last 10 games. Cleveland is also 9-1 in their last 10 games and just 2.5 back out of the final wildcard slot.
Yeah, they have been playing great baseball for the last week. I mean, they've went, like you said, 6 game win streak. Definitely not what I was expecting, honestly.
No,
I was probably more confident in the Rangers doing something like that, but
me too.
the Guardians have been like really turning it on. And I mean, they're 80-71 right now. They were expected to be 73-78, so they're doing 7 games better than what they were expected to be. And yeah, I mean, it's looking really good for them.
Yeah, and last video, we mainly focused on the Mariners, the Guardians, the Rangers, and the Royals. And we can clearly see who benefited from that video and who did not benefit from that video. Because, oh my gosh, the Rangers and the Royals have just collapsed entirely.
Yeah,
I mean, the Rangers alone are on a 4-game loss streak. And also, the Royals are 3-7 in their last 10 games and just now sit at 500.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a wild turn of events. Not what I was expecting at all. I do feel like the Royals are going to have like a promising future. We talked a little bit in the last episode about the Royals trying to like build around some of their younger guys, and I think they're going to do that in the future. But I thought it was going to be a lot closer by the end of the season, this wild card slot.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Guardians have really just like they're the only team now that's really given the Mariners and the Astros like that much sweat. So it's been really exciting.
Yeah, and the Guardians have been just sitting around 500 for almost the entire season. But what better time to get hot than in the last few weeks of the season? Because clearly it's putting them in a great spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the perfect time for the team to get hot, and they needed this right now because, like you said,
Mhm.
they have been not great for the whole season. The Tigers were like 10 games ahead of everybody in the Central at one point, and like the Guardians do have a negative run differential. They've allowed 25 more runs than they scored. That kind of shows like the how they've been throughout the season, but it also shows how well they've been playing lately for them to be able to come back from that run deficit and put themselves 9 games above 500 now.
Yeah, speaking of teams that are also just very hot, the Phillies, the first team in MLB this year to clinch their division. Pretty good. But
Yeah,
what's crazy is they don't even have the best record in the National League. The Brewers do, but they've only clinched playoff contention, not winning the division. So slight differential there, but the Brewers still are in the playoffs, but the Phillies are the first team to win their division, which is pretty crazy.
yeah. The Phillies have been playing great baseball lately. I mean, even just in their last 10 games, they're 8-2. But especially with the way that the Mets have kind of been slowing down a lot and falling off, that's kind of given the Phillies that extension in the division to give them the clinch for the East. So yeah, I mean they're definitely going to be one of the favorites going into the playoffs, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, the Phillies are a whole 12 and a half games over the Mets right now. So it makes sense how they were able to win the division considering just how far apart they are with each other because the Cubs, they're only sitting 5 games behind the Brewers right now. So that's not too far back, but I don't know. Do you think there's a chance that the Cubs can still somehow win the division, or do you think the Brewers are going to lock it down? Because personally, I think the Brewers are going to lock it down.
I do think the Brewers are probably going to lock it down. I think they're going to end up winning the division. Although the Cubs have been playing great baseball too. You mentioned the Phillies clinching their division, even though they don't have the best record. The only reason that the Brewers haven't clinched their division is because the Cubs have been one of the best teams in baseball. They have, I think,
Yeah.
the fourth best record in baseball.
Uh,
So
yeah, and the third best in the National League.
Yeah, third best record in the National League too. So I mean, they've been the Cubs probably would be in first place right now if it weren't for the Brewers being just a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, the Cubs have a 10-game lead over everyone else in the wild card right now. So obviously they clinched, so they're good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the Cubs, when the outfield has been great, the Cubs have been great because that outfield core with those three guys, when Ian Happ and PCA and Kyle Tucker are all healthy and performing well, the Cubs are going to be very successful.
Yeah.
The only thing is that PCA has slowed down a lot within these last couple months. He was at one point a couple months ago, we were recording a video, and I said he might have some advantage over Ohtani for the MVP if he had continued to do what he was doing. He has not continued to do what he was doing. I mean, he's going to have a 30-30-30 season probably, but he's like, I mean, he's one homer away from getting there.
Yeah.
But he has been struggling in the second half a lot. In August and September combined, he only has 2 home runs compared to like 6 home runs in July and in June, 9 home runs in May. Like, it's really just been, there has to be some explanation for why he's playing so much differently than he was, because it is a drastic change.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, perhaps maybe he became much more of a focus in the scouting reports.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know why that would change, like going from the first half into the second half. Like, I don't see teams sitting down and be like, okay, we gotta screw over PCA right now. We gotta figure out him specifically. Like, I don't see teams doing that, but I don't know. You know, I mean, that always happens with some players. You know, some players are notoriously better in the first half than the second half, and vice versa.
Yeah.
One team that I really do want to see do well in the playoffs in the National League is the Mets. I really like their lineup, and a lot of their guys have not been performing well, especially this month. In September alone, their pitching staff has combined for a average ERA of 5.58.
Yeah, they have not been great this month at all.
Their best pitcher this month has been a guy who's only made 6 starts in his entire career, Nolan McLean. He's at a 1.56 ERA this month in 3 starts. Incredible.
Yeah, he's been great. It's the Mets pitching, while I do like the guys that they have, I feel like it is kind of thin in terms of like how deep they go into games. There are only 3 guys on the Mets roster who have thrown more than 80 pitches this season. So it's great that they have like these young guys like Nolan McLean and like Jonah Tong, who they're getting some reps and who can hopefully develop into those good starting pitchers. Because the starting pitchers that they do have, while they've been good overall for the season, they are not going deep into games. And we talked in a previous episode how many reps you get against the relievers can affect like later games in the season. Teams have pretty much seen all the relievers that they have multiple times because their relievers kind of have to bail them out, you know? And like when you get to the playoffs and when guys have gotten so many reps and had so much practice on pitch recognition and like pitching tendencies, like that's going to be a huge disadvantage for the Mets going into the playoffs, especially against these better teams.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned Jonah Tong. This month, he has a 13 ERA in 2 starts. Pretty tough.
Yeah.
And some of their other starting pitchers, I mean, David Peterson, 7 ERA this month. Sean Manaea, 6 ERA this month. Clay Holmes, 5 ERA this month. But they do have a good bullpen. And I think that's probably why they made so many bullpen moves at the trade deadline, because they knew that their starting pitching was just not holding up.
Yeah, pretty much. And it was a good idea because the starting pitching really hasn't been holding up.
No.
You know, they're going to need as many relievers as they can get.
Yeah, and the Mets are only sitting 4 games above 500 right now, which is really crazy to consider because, like, if you were to go back a month ago, they were 66 and 58. They were 8 games above 500, and now it's literally half that.
Yeah, man. They've just been kind of tanking, honestly. Like they're 2-8 in their last 10 games. They've been like, some teams have been playing better baseball now that the games matter more and that there's more pressure. It seems like the Mets have been playing worse baseball now that there's more pressure and now that they have to win more, you know. It's not been going well for them. But like, the offense has been going well. Surprisingly, OPS in the first half was 738. In the second half, it's 787. So 51 points higher, or basically 50 points higher. You would think that they'd be playing pretty well, but the pitching has not been working for them. Like, I mean, a 5.42 team ERA in the last 12 games, like 3 wins and 9 losses it doesn't matter how many runs you score if you're going to give up a bunch of runs.
Yeah. And in the month of September, they have a 245 team average and a 739 average team OPS. So not that bad, but when you combo that with their pitching this month, it's just not good. And just in the last month overall, they have a 12 and 15 record. So if they want to hold their last wild card spot, they're going to need to step it up, because other teams are definitely doing better, and one of those teams is the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Where did they come from?
Dude.
What the heck? They're currently the closest team to taking the Mets' final wildcard spot right now, which they haven't been this close, and I don't even know how long.
Yeah, like months, honestly. It seems like they have been one of the most surprising teams in this race to me, especially considering the moves that they made at the deadline, trading 6 of their guys, like 6 of their big name guys: Eugenio Suarez, Merrill Kelly, Josh Naylor, Shelby Miller, who's been great for them as a closer. And they've just gotten better from that. And like, they have gone through many different like adversities this season. They have been dealing with a lot of stuff. I mean, from throwing a huge contract at Corbin Burns, which was working out through 11 games, but then he got hurt and he had to be out for the rest of the season. We're not going to see him back till next year. To like Zach Gallen struggles and inconsistencies. He hasn't really been pitching at the same caliber that we've seen him in the past. He's not like pitching to his top 10 Cy Young finish that he once was. And trading Merrill Kelly, who was one of their only good pitchers. But now in September, the starters have a 2.83 ERA. Like
they're doing so much better this month. Especially Zach Gallen, like you said, like this, like on the year overall hasn't been the same guy, but this month he has an ERA under 3.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's where they need him. That's what they need him to do. And he's been doing, like, he's still throwing a lot of innings. I think he's still top 10 in innings pitched. But they just need him to like prevent those runs like he has so far this month, you know.
It's just for the Diamondbacks, pitching wise, their bullpen has been more so the issue. On the month, I got multiple guys here with ERAs over 5. Like, we got John Curtis, we got Anthony Desclafani, Jake Woodward, Kyle Backhus. I got this one guy here, Bryce Jarvis. I mean, he didn't even get an out. He's got an infinite ERA.
Jeez. Wow.
Jarvis, analysis, please.
Bad. That's the analysis.
But yeah, so overall, starters have been doing awesome, but the bullpen definitely needs to lock it down more if they really want to have a contending chance here, because even if they do somehow manage to sneak in, they are going up against some powerhouses in the National League. And how you were saying earlier, how some teams have just been playing better when the games have mattered. That's been the teams that are in first place right now. The Brewers are 6-4 in their last 10. The Phillies are 8-2 in their last 10. The Dodgers are 7-3 in their last 10. The Cubs are 7-3 in their last 10. And the Padres are 6-4 in their last 10. So everyone is like at least like doing a little bit better than worse to like maintain where they are. But the Mets, 2-8. Not good. That's why they're falling out of it. And the Diamondbacks, they're doing a lot better this month. And in their last 10, they're 5-5. So that's why they're right there. They're right there, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Sometimes you don't really have to like go on some crazy 7 or 8 game win streak. You don't have to win 9 out of 10. If you can just play like a little bit above average baseball, and another team in the wild card like the Mets are playing very below average baseball, you can take advantage of that and you can slide into that last spot. And there's not a lot of games left. A lot of teams have like 10 more games. So
Yeah.
one, that means that there's not a lot of time to get into a playoff spot. And two, if you drop out of a playoff spot, that means there's definitely not a lot of time to get it back.
No.
You really have to be playing the best baseball all season, like right now, which is
Yeah.
extremely hard because they've played 150 games already. And like, if they do well enough, then they're going to play another 10 or 15 more games in the playoffs. Like, the baseball schedule alone is like insane.
Yeah.
Regardless, some teams have just figured out how to turn it on when it matters.
Exactly. And the Diamondbacks are not the only team who are trying to crawl their way into that final wild card spot. There are two other teams who are literally tied for half a game back behind them. Then that's the Reds and the Giants.
Yeah.
You know, it's somehow three teams that are barely above 500 or at 500 are currently contending for the final playoff spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that too. It's so weird. It's very strange, but it's exciting too, because it kind of
Yeah.
means that anybody can win it. It
Mm-hmm.
just, if you have a good week and another team has a bad week, then there's a good chance that you're going to get that last spot, you know?
Yeah, the Giants are probably like behind the Diamondbacks are probably the most interesting team for me in this whole mix. It seemed like last month they were going to be out of it entirely.
Yeah. 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 I mean, they were like 6 or 7 games back in the wild card at one point.
There were 5.5 back, and the Diamondbacks were 7 back. And then in September, they're both tied for 4 games back. And now the Diamondbacks are currently just 1.5, and the Reds are 2, and the Giants are also 2. So everyone is just trying to get in there. And the Giants probably have the toughest schedule this month overall out of anyone. I mean, they played the Dodgers 7 times.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, but in the last month to date, the Giants are 15-12. So pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
They're doing just a little bit above average, like you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes that's good enough, you know? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they've had like, there are some really big bright spots in that Giants lineup, like in the rotation too. Logan Webb and Robbie Ray. We've talked about how good of a 1-2 combo they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're great. I mean, their ERAs aren't in the 2 anymore, but but they're both still very consistent pitchers, still throwing a lot of innings, quality starts. Justin Verlander in his age 42 season, he's got a 3.75 ERA. He's still doing his thing, you know?
Yeah, dude.
Like,
And this month, he has a 0.45 ERA in 3 starts and a 0.8 whip.
wow. Wow.
Yeah, and the thing is, he has 5.9 Ks per 9, so he's not like getting that many Ks, so he's being able to pitch to contact and still like be successful. So that's really awesome to see from him because he's usually a strikeout guy. So
Yeah.
it seems like when people make contact off of him, it's probably not the best contact. But he's now, he's changed up his game a little bit. He's getting a little older and he's still finding a way to make it work. That's awesome.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. He's not that pitcher who's throwing like 100 or 101 in the 8th inning anymore, you know? He's like, his game has changed and he has to make adjustments to that. And instead of throwing with a bunch of velocity, he's been pitching to more contact, trying to strike out guys a little bit less, or not trying to strike out guys as much. And he's just been letting hitters get themselves out, which is a similar adjustment that we've seen Clayton Kershaw make after his strikeout numbers go down.
Yeah.
And it worked out for him too. Like,
yeah, he's having a great year.
Yeah, I'm really glad that both of these guys are still kicking it and still doing really well. But I can't really say I'm surprised because they're 2 of the best pitchers of their generation, like maybe the 2 best pitchers of their generation. And like, when you're that good, there's been guys in the past who, like, once their velo starts dropping, they adjust their game, and if you're good enough, you can still hang in the league. And these 2 guys are first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah, 100%. Although this month, outside of Justin Verlander, the pitching has not been that good for San Francisco overall. Most of their guys have ERAs above 3 or 4, and that goes for the starters and the bullpen. I mean, their team average ERA this month is 4.57. So not great, not
Mhm.
terrible, but if you really want to make that wild card spot, we've been kind of saying this about all these teams. It really just matters who's gonna step up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And their offense too, not great. Their team average is 239 with an average team OPS of 721. Not great, but not terrible. Some highlights in the lineup: Matt Chapman and Jung Hoo Lee. They both have 13 hits this month, along with Patrick Bailey, and they're all hitting above 260 this month as well. Matt Chapman and Patrick Bailey almost have an OPS over 1,000 this month as well, so they're definitely leading the charge lineup wise. And Devers is not doing good this month, unfortunately. He's batting 190 this month and a 661 OPS.
Wow.
So if the Giants really want to make this work, Devers is going to have to start hitting some more homers and driving some more guys in, because that's kind of why they got him in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they gave up 2 of their starting pitchers for him to like make an instant impact on the team, and he hasn't really done that. His slugging has kind of gone up a little bit from his first couple weeks as a Giant. He does have 16 homers now in 80 games. Stretch out over a full season, that's about 30 homers. But like, yeah, he hasn't really been the slugger that the Giants really need in their lineup,
Yeah.
But I mean, Matt Chapman has been like one of the best Giants for the last like several years. He's been a great addition to their team. Like you said, he's been hitting good. He's got a 125 OPS plus on the season while still playing elite defense. Like that's kind of all you can ask for from a third baseman. But if Devers can get it going, then that's going to be like even better for them.
Yeah. And we know Devers is not a third baseman anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Refuses to be a third baseman.
Although one thing about Devers, though, I will say this: despite his low average, his on base is 299. So he's still finding ways to, at least work walks and get on base, despite him not hitting the ball as well. So that's good, at least that he's doing that.
Yeah. If you're not finding a way on with your hits, then you got to find another way,
Yeah, and the last team here that is playing for that final wild card spot, that's kind of in the mix with everyone else, the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, it seems like they've been 3 or 4 games out of the wild card for the entire season.
Yeah. They're
just right there.
They've just been hanging on, waiting for someone to start playing terribly. And I mean, the Mets have been playing really bad lately, so this might work out for the Reds. But yeah, I mean, they've been stalking the wild card for like several months at this point. I feel like they've been a pretty consistent team all year, especially like from a pitching aspect. Like Andrew Abbott has been really solid on the season. He still has an ERA under 3. Nick Lodolo has turned into like a really solid left-handed pitcher for them. He's been a prospect for them for a couple of years now. Mm-hmm. He's got a 141 ERA plus and 2 complete games. He's one of only 3 guys with 2 complete games this year. The other 2 being Framber Valdez and Tanner Bybee. So, I mean, that's pretty great company for him. They also recently got Hunter Green back. I know his last start against the A's was not great, but he has had a couple really dominant starts. He's had a couple of like 12 strikeout appearances.
Yeah.
So I think if the Reds can make it into the playoffs, those 3 guys are going to have some really great performances.
Yeah, 100%. Brady Singer has been their ace this month. He has a 2 ERA this month, just 2.
Wow. Yeah.
He's done really good. And I will say this, though, out of all of their starters this month, he's probably been like the only one who's been kind of holding it down. Andrew Abbott this month, 4.67 ERA. Zach Little, 6.19 ERA. Hunter Green, like you said, he's got a 4 ERA because of that start, but he's like a Chris Archer type, in my opinion.
Yeah. High strikeouts, but might give up a lot of runs.
Yeah, exactly. Although love Chris Archer, is very fun to watch.
250 strikeouts one season, 251 or 252, I think.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
crazy. And Scott Barlow out of the bullpen, 14 ERA in 7 games pitched.
Wow.
It's not going to do it.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, their team ERA as a whole this month, 5.14, and a 239 team batting average. And they're 9-13 in the last month. So it makes sense why they're in the position that they're in.
Yeah, it does. And like, especially considering looking at the offense as well, there are a lot of not very good there are a lot of below average hitters in that lineup, you know?
Yeah.
Ellie De La Cruz has been solid. Noelvi Marte has been good. Austin Hayes has a OPS plus at 105 as well.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it. Those are like really their only guys that have been playing good for them. So like with the pitching being not as poor as it has this month, mixed with not getting offensive support, it makes sense that they still haven't been able to crack that wild card spot.
Yeah. Who do you think in the National League is going to be the next team to win the division?
It's either going to be the Brewers or the Dodgers.
Nice.
Right. Well, if the Padres play really good baseball,
yeah, if they don't lose for the rest of the month,
yeah, they're only 2 games back from the Dodgers right now.
Yeah.
So they could have a chance to, but I think it's gonna be the Brewers probably. Yeah. I think it's despite how good the Cubs have been this year, that just kind of shows how good the Brewers have been this year.
Yeah.
they've been like, at least since the second half, they've been the best team in baseball. Like one of the most consistent, one of the most successful teams. But I mean, the Cubs have also been playing great. The only reason that people don't talk about the Cubs as much is because the Brewers have been doing as good as they have. Like the Cubs are 10 games ahead of the Mets in the wild card, I believe.
Yeah.
But the Brewers are 5 games ahead of the Cubs in the division. So like, I mean, it's just been, God, and like there are some really cool there's some really cool guys on the Cubs, man. I want this team to be successful because some of their guys have some really cool stories. I just want to take a second to mention 2 of these guys, both relievers, Drew Pomeranz and Caleb Thielbar.
Okay.
Both been having great seasons.
Yeah.
Start with Drew Pomeranz. His last season was in 2021, where he pitched to a 1.75 ERA. The previous year, he pitched to a 1.45 ERA, but then he did not play until this season. He was sidelined with a flexor tendon injury in 2021, taking him out early. And then in recovery in 2023, he suffered from an elbow injury. So he spent 4 years. So it was 4 years since he had pitched at the major league level. And he did not give up a run until his 27th appearance this season.
Oh my gosh.
He had a 0 ERA through his first 26 appearances. And
That's insane.
He was going full innings. This wasn't like he's going in for 1 out. He has been very, very consistent for him. So it's one of the best career resurgences I feel like we've seen in recent years. And Caleb Thielbar is another one of those guys, another left-handed reliever. He stopped playing in baseball in 2015 and became a Division II pitching coach for a local university that was close to his home.
Okay.
And then he got signed by the Tigers in 2020. And after, I believe, 1,923 days of not pitching in the majors, he finished the season with a 2.25 ERA. And this year, in 66 appearances, at the age of 38, he has a 1.94 ERA. So
that's
Drew
incredible.
Pomeranz and Caleb Thielbar have been 2 of the best left-handed relievers after neither of them have thrown after both of them went on 4 years without throwing at the major league level.
That's a great story.
Yeah, dude. We talk about the Mariners pitching factory and like how good they are at developing guys, but the Cubs have been really great at like helping the older veterans who have been around for a while maximize what they do best and maintain their elite level of performance. And we
Yeah.
see that with Drew Pomeranz, we see that with Caleb Thielbar, we see that with Matthew Boyd, you know. So, you know, I really hope that the Cubs do well. I'm rooting for the Cubs. I want them to do well.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, I do feel like the Brewers are probably going to clinch their division next because they've just been like the best team in baseball,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I totally agree. I just wanted to see if you were like if you would be able to justify a hot take, you know?
If I was man enough to say
Yeah.
the Dodgers. Yeah. Well, you know, there's well, one, the Brewers are doing better than the Dodgers, and also I'm an Angels fan, so I don't want to say the Dodgers.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. But yeah, I would say that wraps up our National League discussion today. What do you say?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think that's yeah.
Yeah, so that wraps up our video today then, guys. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to join the Sci-Fly Zone family. We appreciate you. We welcome you with open arms, no matter who you are. You know, we appreciate you. And yeah, yeah, if you got any topics that you want us to talk about, leave it down in the comments. Be happy to talk about it. Our next episode is going to be reviewing the next episode of Peacemaker Season 2. Very excited for that. And then our next MLB episode is probably just going to be another recap and update on the playoff races and things going on and any other crazy news that happens within Major League Baseball as well. So yeah, that has been today's episode of the Sci-Fly Zone, where the multiverse meets the seventh inning stretch. Have a nice day, y'all. Peace.